Hi guys, today I want to tell you about my healthy Italian salad. This is so good you won't believe it, and I'm going to reveal in just a minute why it's so healthy. So let me tell you, I start out with a base of mixed greens. Now, a couple of things about this. Mine, I have kale, romaine, bell pepper, tomatoes, carrots, and broccoli. Couple of things. A lot of Italian salads call for just the regular iceberg lettuce. I don't use iceberg. I don't think it's got much nutritional value, and it gets soft and soggy really easy once it gets wet. So that's why I prefer the kale and the romaine. They're a little hardier and they hold up. The other thing is I go with the cherry tomatoes instead of diced up tomatoes because those can get wet too and make everything else wet. And I just think it's a lot better to use the cherry tomatoes. I even go the extra mile with a little bit of the nicer brand of cherry tomatoes. And then lastly, I do not do cucumber in my mixed greens because again, those can get soft and wet and soggy. So those are my tips for your base, but anything that you want to do for your base, you really can do that. And then same thing with your toppings. I start out with some salami, some Genoa salami, and I don't use much because this is very high in flavor, and so a little bit goes a long way. What I do add more of is my vegetables, so and carbohydrates. So the beans, the garbanzo beans, those go well. The artichoke hearts, those are nice. And then a little bit of zest, you can do some pickles. So you've got a lot of vegetables and complex carbohydrates, and then a little bit of fat with the black olives, the chopped black olives. So the tip with the black olives is a lot of times people use whole black olives or any type of olive for a nice Italian salad. If you do the chopped or the slice, it goes a little further so you can spread it out and there you get more of that in every bite. And lastly, a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So you can just sprinkle that on the top. Now, here is where the magic happens. I make my own salad dressing, and a lot of people use a lot of oil in their Italian salad dressing. I don't. I start out with 1/4 cup of either lemon or lime juice. Today I'm using lime juice, so 1/4 cup of that. And as far as the olive oil, I only use 1 tablespoon. It's not necessary to do equal parts, in my opinion, because there's so much flavor with the other things I'm adding in. So it's 1/4 cup of the lime juice and just 1 tablespoon of the olive oil, and then 1 tablespoon of like the stone ground mustard or the Dijon mustard, a tablespoon of the Parmesan, that adds a little more flavor, and a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. So once you have that together, you can just stir all this together and you've got about 1/2 cup of dressing. And here is the exciting part. There's only like 22 calories in every tablespoon of this dressing. So you're getting a big flavor bang for your buck with these wonderful spices. And if you want to add salt and pepper or any other seasoning, you can. I don't think it's necessary because there's so many other flavors that I want to devote my attention to the other flavors that we have. And this perfect little 5-ingredient dressing goes a long way. So once you are done mixing that together, you just pour it on your salad, mix it all together, and then in the end you have this beautiful Italian salad ready to go. And that should last you several days in the refrigerator, or hopefully you're having friends over and having a big party with it. But if you have any wonderful healthy Italian recipes, send them to me and I'll share them with others. But most of all, I hope you try this and let me know if you do. But have a good day. Thanks guys. See you later. Bye-bye.